Hello, everyone, and welcome to Webinar Wednesday. I'm your host, Kelly Cothran, and I want to thank you for joining us today. We are discussing how stress can have a big impact on your skin. I have with me dermatologist Dr. Anita Mehta from Kelsey-Seybold's main campus. She is board certified by the American Board of Dermatology. Her clinical interests include treating skin cancer, psoriasis, acne, eczema, autoimmune and blistering disorders, and infectious diseases. She joined Kelsey-Seybold in September 2011. She is a member of the Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society and the Texas Dermatological Society. We want to hear from you. In your webinar window, you should see today's poll question. Which area of life causes you the most stress? Is it personal, relationships, work, finances, health, life events, or changes? Personally, there are several factors that are causing stress in my life right now. At the moment, I happen to be maid of honor in not one, but 2 weddings. So I definitely need to hear what Dr. Mehta has to say about taking care of your skin during these type of stressful moments. At the end of the webinar, we will reveal the results and take any questions you may have. We'll give you a few seconds to put in your votes for the poll. And now I will turn it over to Dr. Mehta.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mehta, and first we're going to kind of discuss what is stress actually. Stress is really a combination of emotional and physical reactions in response to a lot of the demands that we have in our day-to-day life. Sometimes stress is normal and it can even actually be helpful to us because it can motivate us to achieve our goals, to meet deadlines. But if you're being stressed too often, or a stressful event is lasting too long, then it can actually have harmful effects on our entire body, including your skin, hair, and nails. So there are different types of stress, including emotional stress and physical stress, such as, anxiety for an upcoming event, a big event in your life, problems in relationships. Also, if you don't do enough exercise, you don't have a healthy diet, not getting enough sleep, all of these type of things are types of stress. How does stress affect your skin? So stress is a very powerful component in many things, and it can produce different responses in your body, which then can show itself on your skin. And several types of skin conditions actually are altered, if not due to different stressful events in your mind. There's actually a type of dermatology called psychodermatology that is studying and focusing on how emotions and stress impact the skin. So a lot of times the emotions that we're feeling and the stress that we're undergoing actually manifests itself through the skin. Similarly to, sometimes when people are anxious, their stomach gets upset and things like that. And actually, studies have shown that about 30% of patients who come to the dermatologist usually have some type of underlying psychological issue going on at the same time, be it, anxiety, depression, or just a lot of stress. So the important thing really for this aspect is that you want to let your dermatologist know if you are undergoing these types of stressful events in your life or are having lots of anxiety or depression, because these things can actually impact the treatment that you receive and help to hopefully get you the correct treatment as quickly as possible. Next, we're going to discuss the 5 most common skin reactions to stress. Before I get started, I just want to preface that These conditions are not due solely to stress, but they are things that can be worsened or triggered by stress. Usually there are other causes for these conditions, but stress will definitely make them worse. So first is acne, which probably all of us are familiar with. This is those pimples, blackheads, and whiteheads that we all hate that show up on our face, chest, and back every so often. When you're stressed, your body releases different types of hormones, one which is called cortisol. And cortisol actually causes your body's oil production to increase. And oil, bacteria, and hormones are the main components of acne, so this will make you more prone to developing pimples. Worry lines and wrinkles and aging of the skin is also worsened by stress because, again, that cortisol, which is a stress hormone, is released, and cortisol tends to break down collagen. And collagen is what we need in our skin to keep the wrinkles from developing, to keep our skin looking firm and full. So for that reason, you can also develop a lot more signs of aging due to stress. Another thing is if you are also always tense and stressed, your muscles are kind of constricted in a certain way, and so the wrinkles can start to become more pronounced. Dry skin is another common condition that is often worsened by stress. Again, cortisol is the hormone to blame in this. Cortisol does not allow your body to retain a whole lot of water and moisture, and then because of that, you end up having dry, itchy skin. And because of dry skin, you can also end up developing different types of rashes. Now, dry skin can lead to rashes like eczema, but also let's say that you're prone to developing certain rashes like psoriasis or eczema. The stress itself can make those worse. Also, you use a lotion all the time, you've had no problem, but if you're very stressed, your body's skin can become more sensitive to any type of chemical, and so you're more likely to have a reaction to something like that, which may cause an allergic reaction or some irritation to the skin. Like I was saying before, if you already have certain skin conditions like psoriasis, eczema, acne, or rosacea, these conditions can be worsened in more stressful situations. And if you're also maybe prone to developing these things and have not developed them yet, stress might be that factor that kind of tips you over the edge to cause your skin to start producing these rashes. So some studies also show that skin cancer may be more prevalent in people who are more stressed. And again, this goes back to if your body is stressed, if your skin is stressed, you don't really have, your body's not fighting at full capacity. And so if there's any damage from ultraviolet light or pollution in the environment that can be factors that lead to skin cancer, your body may not be able to fight these changes, and so you may be more prone to developing skin cancer. So what are some different ways to reduce stress on skin? We all are going to have stress, our whole lives, but we need to learn different ways to help manage that. One very important thing is don't neglect your skin. Like I was saying, stress will always be there, but you need to take time out for your skin. Make sure you moisturize your skin regularly. Make sure that you take the time to pamper yourself a little bit as well. Do something that you enjoy. Unwind every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Getting regular exercise is very important. It helps to decrease some of the tension and stress. 3 to 4 times a week is enough, but just trying to add that to your daily schedule would be helpful. Try to find ways to manage your stress, including exercise, yoga, meditation, listening to soothing music, anything that kind of helps to calm you down. Trying to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night is very important as well. Also, know how to set your limits and boundaries. If you're overextending yourself, it's okay to say no and to not take on one more task, to not take on one more responsibility. Be confident in that, and that is okay. Also, if you do have a lot of stress in your life, talk to someone, be it a friend or a family member or a professional. There's nothing to be ashamed about, and it's always good to be able to discuss issues that you're having with somebody else. So, in summary, stress can affect your skin in many ways, and it's very important that we take care of our skin during all times, stressful and non-stressful. Working out 3 to 4 times a week, trying to get enough sleep every night, and being aware that your mind and your skin are connected. So things that you're feeling in your mind, experiences that you're having, will manifest itself on your skin. And it's important to share with your dermatologist about any stressful events going on in your life. Thank you very much. Now we'll take some questions, if anybody has any.
All right, if you take a few moments to type in your questions, we have Dr. Mehta here, who is our expert on skin reactions and disorders. So send your questions right away. Okay, here's an interesting question. How does stress affect your fingernails?
So your fingernails, hair, and skin require a lot of nutrition. And so if you are in a stressful time in your life, your body's kind of on overdrive. You're probably needing more nutrition to just for your body's normal functioning. And because of that, you may start noticing that your nails are brittle, they're drier, they break more easily, they split more easily. So making sure during stressful times that you're getting proper nutrition and that you're taking a multivitamin daily. Also making sure that you moisturize your nails by using, even Vaseline or any type of fragrance-free cream to rub onto the nails as well as the cuticles will help to keep any type of damage to the nails.
When you're stressed or going through a stressful time, is it more likely that your hair might fall out, or you might see differences in your hair, perhaps thinning?
Yes, so actually stressful events can cause your hair to fall out. There's actually a condition called telogen effluvium, and that is a stress-induced hair loss. Normally that happens about 3 to 6 months after the stressful event. Normally those type of stressful events are like pregnancy, a major illness, or a major life-changing event. And basically what happens is that your hair just stops growing, and then your hair is on a certain cycle, and eventually that cycle halts and the hair just falls out. Now that hair will regrow as the stressful event resolves, and usually it takes up to a year. Now again, working on your nutrition and things like that, because your hair requires a lot of nutrition, can help to prevent that to some extent.
And so during those stressful times and your face is breaking out and you start to panic, at what point or what time do you go see a dermatologist? When would you say now is the time to go see one?
So, the earlier you come to see a dermatologist, probably the better. If you start noticing any changes, anything that doesn't seem right, that's when you want to go ahead and start to come in. Now, on a side note, probably starting around the age of 30, everybody should be coming for annual skin checks, mainly for skin cancer. But so that's something you want to start at a younger age. But if you notice any changes at the first sign of those changes, you want to go ahead and come in, because hopefully the treatment can get started quicker and the issue will resolve quicker.
Here's more of a specific question. What products or what do you recommend for treating eczema, especially when you're going through stressful times?
So, eczema is a multifactorial condition, and normally the root cause is dryness of the skin. People with eczema, their skin for some reason does not hold moisture like people's skin who don't have eczema. And so aggressive moisturizing is usually the key. You need to use fragrance-free creams, and you need to use them daily. Even when you're not having a problem, every day after you take a shower, you need to put it on from your neck down and kind of get in that routine. You also want to make sure that you take short showers and lukewarm showers. If they're too long or too hot, that will cause your skin to dry out more as well. Now there are other causes for eczema, and so if what I recommended doesn't work, then you probably do want to see a dermatologist. Sometimes different topical steroid creams or other causes of eczema can be determined, but that's where I would start first.
Okay. Can stress cause premature wrinkles in your face? And do you recommend Botox for someone who is only in their 30s?
Yes, stress definitely can cause premature wrinkles. Like I was saying earlier, cortisol is released when you're stressed, and cortisol breaks down collagen in the skin. And collagen is what helps to keep us looking youthful and decreasing wrinkles and keeping our skin looking kind of full. So very much so, stress can lead to early wrinkles. I would recommend Botox for someone in their 30s if that's something that you're concerned about. You're noticing you're developing some deeper wrinkles, on the forehead or between your eyebrows. There are two schools of thought on this, but some people recommend getting Botox early because it can help to prevent those wrinkles from actually developing. Other people say to go ahead and wait till you develop them and then start using them. But if it is something that is concerning and making you self-conscious, then I think it is worth seeing a dermatologist or plastic surgeon regarding that.
All right. So before I go out to dinner with friends or before I, go on a date, I like to put on my makeup and look my best. What advice do you have when it comes to applying makeup when you do have a breakout on your face during stressful times?
So as long as your makeup is not oil-based, it probably will not worsen your acne. I tend to recommend mineral makeup, like Bare Minerals. Neutrogena has mineral makeup, and a lot of other lines are now carrying mineral makeup. That tends to be the least irritating to the skin. Now, I have had patients say that mineral makeup is good, but when they have acne, they don't think it gives them enough coverage. And if that's the case, then as long as you find a makeup that has the word non-comedogenic, that's non-comedogenic, what that means is that it won't clog pores. And so any makeup that has that on it should be fine. MAC, L'Oreal, Almay, CoverGirl, all of those are actually okay. But mineral makeup is my preference.
Right, here we go.
patients.
Apparently our mic went out, so I'm going to repeat the question. I'm sorry, Dr. Mehta, but I want to make sure our audience gets the question. So like I was saying, there are different types of skin according to different ethnicities and between African Americans and Caucasians. So are there particular treatments or products that ethnicities should be using?
So there are some types of products that may be better for darker skin types, such as Asians and African Americans. One of the biggest issues usually with darker skin type and acne is the discoloration that is left behind. And so there are stronger medications in the family of topical retinoids, which often help more with the discoloration. Now these are all prescriptions, so you would have to see a dermatologist in order to receive them. In terms of over-the-counter, Ambi is a good product line for patients of darker skin. But otherwise, there are several different prescription medications that are better for patients of darker skin type. But again, you would have to see a dermatologist in order to receive them.
We're actually getting quite a few questions about what are all your locations that you practice at. So can you share a little bit about your practice?
So I practice only at the main campus on West Holcomb. I'm here 4.5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I just don't work Friday afternoons. My main interest is medical dermatology, so acne, rashes, skin cancer, and I'd be happy to see anybody that has any questions and help as much as I can.
I saw a question on here that we actually didn't get to touch on in the actual presentation, but acne doesn't only affect your face. It can affect, your back. It can affect your chest. So what advice do you have for caring for your back and your chest? And is it different from caring for your face?
So acne on the back and chest is actually probably a little bit harder to clear up than acne on the face. A couple of things. It's very important for acne on the body that, when you do work out, you take off your sweaty clothes. Immediately you want to go ahead and rinse off and take a shower. You have to get the oil and bacteria off of your skin. Using antibacterial soaps like Dial or using acne wash called benzoyl peroxide, that's available over the counter, but that's an excellent body wash that will help to decrease blackheads, whiteheads, and the red pimples and decrease the oil that's on our chest and back. And it's easy to use rather than trying to put creams on the back and the chest. Now, you can use the same creams that you use on your face for acne on your chest and back, but the majority of those are prescription. But over the counter, benzoyl peroxide is what you want to look for. It is not the name of the wash, it's the active ingredient in different acne washes, so you just have to turn the bottle around and look and make sure the active ingredient says benzoyl peroxide.
So the weather in here in Houston has been crazy lately. So is there any type of advice you have for caring for your face when the temperature is in the 90s versus, the next day when the temperature can be in the 40s or 50s?
So one thing I recommend regardless is that you use a moisturizer that has sunscreen in it every day. Even if it's overcast, even if it's somewhat chilly, if there's light outside, there is ultraviolet rays. And if you're driving to and from work, driving to the grocery store, you're getting some exposure. So over the counter, there are many different moisturizers that have sunscreen in them. That you need to use every day. It should be at least an SPF 30. Over 30 probably doesn't matter, but you want to use at least SPF 30. Now in terms of moisturizing the skin on your body, you really should use a moisturizer that has no fragrance on a daily basis. Now, if you're someone who has pretty normal skin that isn't prone to rashes or eczema, then doing it daily is probably all that you need, summer and winter time. But if you're someone who is prone to eczema, you may find that in the summertime you just need to moisturize once a day, or in the wintertime you may need to moisturize twice a day. So for everybody, I recommend daily, but if you are prone to certain, skin conditions, then you may need to increase that more frequently in the wintertime.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Mehta. That was great. I have shared the poll results with the rest of the audience. It looks like work is causing a lot of stress in your life, and I just wanted to touch back on what Dr. Mehta said earlier about practicing stress management. It is very important. Exercising, yoga, meditation, sleeping, getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and learning how to say no. I know it's very hard, but sometimes you have to say no because your health is more important. Well, thanks again to Dr. Mehta. She did such a great job, and your questions were great. Thank you so much for participating in the poll and participating in the webinar. I've learned so much today, and who knew that emotions could have such a huge impact on your skin. So to wrap up today, I want to invite you to our next month's webinar. We're featuring Dr. Eric Sandberg, who is focusing on outsmarting your allergies. Allergy season is here. I know you've seen the pollen on your cars, so I'm very sure that you could benefit from signing up and registering for this webinar. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next month.